Righto, we are going to have a look at another alert that I think we should set, and it's going to be the MomentumSync version 2, not version 3. Version 2. I mean, you could go version 3, it's really aggressive. If you do, there's got to be one criteria that has to be met. Well, let's see if I can find. I'm in an Aussie yen at the moment. Yeah, this version 3 is going to be aggressive, but it's not a bad alert if you use it well. Right now, here's the thing: you want these things to come together. Let me just take out that for a sec. Right, no exceptions, guys. Here it is. Otherwise, I mean, if you don't follow a strict criteria, you're going to come unglued, right? So you've got, first of all, the 4-hour must be bullish, 15-minute time frame. Okay, so the 4-hour bullish on the trend track multi. That's number one. Number two, you've got to be above the cluster of our VWAPs, all of them. Number three, you've got to be, if it's bullish, above this green line is a previous day close. And if it's bearish, it'll be red. You've got to be above that. And the dotted line has got to be bullish. The white line, the purple, the blue have to be pointing in the same direction. And price has to be, obviously, doing that, but above all the VWAPs. So when all the VWAPs, you got the blue, the purple, there's a yellow one here somewhere, but that's a yearly, not so much that one. But you've got the white one, which is a monthly. The purple is weekly. The blue is daily. When all of this, and especially this dotted line, this is crucial. If they're facing that direction, 40 degrees, 45 degrees, and you get that, you can take this blue signal here, as long as it's above, well, it's got to be above that. So anyway, my entry, yeah, was about here. All right, so you want this to, and you've got to be getting into it preferably after, but not necessarily after the session open. This is London open. This one is the Asia open. And I mean, if you want to be aggressive, there's a couple of buy signals in through the Asian session. That's it. And when you find, I mean, this is, I would call this an A+. Now, can it turn around? Yeah, all it takes is one trader with big dollars to decide that they want, you know, and they've been working this, and this is a run on liquidity, and they want to take out all of that. That can happen. But more often than not, this should be okay. 15-minute, especially early on the week, Monday. We have seen some pretty hefty reversals on Tuesdays, but anyway, that's got to be the criteria. And look, give it 80%, right? 80% success rate, because you're going to be caught when, you know, the big guns decide they want to dump it to run liquidity under, and you go in there. Well, I've got my stop loss set up under the volume profile value area low. So I'm going in there with a reason. I mean, it's a 15-minute chart. It's not a crazy wide stop, but you see, look, I mean, generally speaking with this, you know, you're looking at stop loss under the previous low, right? Well, you could argue that, you know, you want to put your stop loss under here. You could, but the risk of this turning around is you know, very, very, fairly high. It's into the London Open. That could push up and pull all the way back down into here. But at least everything's kind of pointing in the right direction, right? That's a good start. And preferably you get involved in one of these, preferably after you see, if it's bullish, like you see a decent dip under. So through the Asian session, it's been range bound. Then it had, well, actually, no, that was prior to the Asian session. That was last week, right? Then there was this fairly deep pullback. That's a decent run on liquidity, that is. And then hopefully then, you know, we get the opportunity. That's it, guys. Just look for that. Anyway, it could do that. Who knows, right? I jumped in a little bit early on a couple today through the Asian session, and got taken out on two, actually. Stops were a bit tight. I was a bit gung-ho, and I got in before. You've got to get in after, like the VWAP. In a bullish trend, this is trending. You know, you want price to be above VWAP, and that'll tell you that bulls are mainly in control. And don't hesitate grabbing the anchored VWAP here, through here, and anchored VWAP, and throwing it, like if we just, you could go keep drawing. I've already done one on here, so, you know, throw one on there, throw one on that low, throw one on that high if you want, throw one on this previous high. Now, you can do that. You can throw one on there, right? And then you'll get a cluster of VWAPs, and you've got to be above them. And yeah, that can pull back down into them for sure. But this will tell you that, you know, buyers are generally in control at the moment until someone with a lot of capital decides to, you know, maybe they've been working this the other way. Who knows, right? But I think this is going to work in your favor more than it doesn't, that's for sure. So 15-minute time frame. One of our members just reached out to me, said that he was finding the 1-minute time frame too volatile. So, you know, 15-minute, come back to this. This is good. And then you can go down to the 1 minute to get a bit closer to this if you like. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap that up. And look, yeah, before I do, and if you're going to be using the MomentumSync indicators, it's only after all this comes together, then you throw, I mean, I'm gonna set an alert for this, because I want, if this starts trending, I mean, look at it, it's already been doing that, right? There's a buy. If it comes back, well, I'm already in, but if it rallies and comes back and we get another buy signal, I'll look to close partial profits and buy again, and try and work this trend. Oh, I'm on drawing, you know, and try to work this trend. So let's give it a shot, see if that moves in our favor. Anyway, if not, we'll find something else. I mean, I'm in an Aussie CAD. I sent that one into VIP. See the pullback, we're getting that now. Yeah, I mean, I was bullish on all of this, but I didn't pay any attention to this VWAP here. Okay, so I broke that rule, guys, and you know, you pay for that. Look, see, it's not ready, and it's not above the previous day close. It's not above the previous point of control, previous day. So that's not a good entry. All right, I blew it. And so, you know, the buy signal, I don't even want to call them a buy signal. It's just a green signal, bullish momentum signal. Let's just do that. Don't take that literally. So you don't take these until, all right, and I'm paying the price for that until you see this break above. It's got to be above the previous point of control and the previous day close, which is this red one. And then you want to see the buy signals kicking in after that. That's how you use both of these MomentumSync indicators. Hope that makes sense. All right, so don't just blindly take it just because it says buy or there's a green signal there when that's overextended. Right, now you got to wait for a pullback and stay with the trend. If the higher time frame, the 4 hours bullish, you're not going to be selling, right? You're going to be buying when it breaks structure. This is a perfect example of an A+ setup right here. When that breaks through here, above all of this, all of the VWAPs, right? So that's not the case with that Aussie CAD. Anyway, okay, guys, let's have a good week. With that, have a great day. See you in the next one.